All right, so are we all set here? Okay, just making sure everything is good. Okay. Uh, oh, okay. I hope this is good. Oh, all right, we're live. Okay. All right, so hmm, yeah, and so yeah, so what is up, guys? Nebula Prism here, and welcome to this random live stream today. So far I've been doing pretty well right now. Yeah, I know I've and yeah, as you can see by the title of my stream, um I'm also doing something in my I've never done before, um which is I'm rating the Conjuring Universe as well. Just letting you guys know, this is my own rating of the Conjuring Universe from all the movies I have seen. So, if you guys have any opinions about the movies, then yeah, you can feel free to also say it in the chat. Then I will be able to I'll be able to like know it in front of you guys. Mhm. Hey daughter.
Hello.
And yes, Cora, you can see by the title of the stream,
I
I'm
saw
also
it, but
rating.
I'm just giggling over the last stream you did. You freaking
Mm.
fell asleep.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I actually mentioned that my eye, like, I actually told this to Cody that my actually it's because my eyes were heavy.
You should just splash your eyes with water just to keep yourself awake.
Oh God. Like I wouldn't burn my eyes if I did that.
No, it's cold water, dummy.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I get it. I get it.
I'm also laughing because when Luke was streaming one of the DDLC mods, the Vigilante mod,
Hmm.
he accidentally called me Sayori.
A vigilante mod.
Yo, for some reason,
Who?
Luke
What?
literally accidentally called me Sayori.
Wait. Sorry. What?
Luke, aka LDG Studios.
Oh. Okay.
He accidentally called me Sayori for some reason.
Oh.
It was so funny. It's just I was joking about food and laughter.
Yeah. Dang.
At least I'm alive.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah. So, anyways, moving on. Let's do this.
crud. Face cam ain't working.
All right. And yes, if anyone doesn't know, I've watched the Nun already, like the Nun 2.
No spoilers.
Yeah, I will say no spoilers, please, because Cora has yet to watch the film.
Well, I've seen the first one, not the second one.
Like, you've seen the first film?
Yeah, but not the
Like the
second
first
one.
the
The
first
first,
the first movie of the Nun. That's chapter
yeah,
1. That's
Yeah,
actually chapter
fun,
one.
fun, 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 fun. I'm saying a lot of fun, like the kazoo kid. I
Ah, okay. Mm.
literally sounded like a broken record there.
Oh,
But as I was trying to say, fun fact, when I showed my dad the movie, he told me that the year that it's based in was is actually the same year he was born in.
yeah, and it's actually because actually in reality, the church that was where that movie is filmed, it's actually based on a real life story of how the
I
of Ed
know
and
that's what he
Lorraine
told
Warren.
me, and it's also the same year that my dad was born. That's what he
Yeah,
told me.
and people say this also is behind is behind the movie The Nun, which is a spin-off of the Conjuring world.
I know that.
Yeah, and to be honest, I was so scared of the first one, like when, and oh my god, I almost cried. I almost cried getting scared from from the monster.
You mean the evil nun,
Balak, yes.
Balak? What? Who's
Balak
Balak?
no, Valak is the demon's name.
Oh, I'll have to tell my dad that. Huh.
Yeah, because actually if a priest actually knows the name of the demon, they can actually vanquish it back to the back to the underworld.
Hmm. Doesn't do a pre? Don't priests do that in real life when someone gets freaking possessed?
Yes, they do.
Ah, I knew it.
Because actually they have to ask
Oops.
the demon first actually before they will vanquish it back to back to the underworld.
Okay then. Excuse me.
Yeah, and
I'm
then
always doing that. I just hiccup then burp. I feel like cry every time I do that.
has and yeah, and though I've seen a lot of the Conjuring universe. I've seen from the
Don't
Conjuring
say
universe.
anything about the Conjuring because I have not seen that stuff yet. And as you said, that very same nun is from that universe. So no
No.
spoilers.
Uh, yeah, I'm not gonna say too much of it without spoiling it because that will, if anyone hasn't seen the other films of it, then yeah,
I've only seen the nun from that.
that's the only film on the Conjuring world that you've seen.
Yep, just the
Mm.
nun chapter one. And it
Yeah,
rhymed.
but there's already chapter two.
I know, and my dad and I are planning on seeing that sometime soon, as soon as we can get like a babysitter for the puppies.
Yeah, because the thing about it is it will give us the true origin of Valak.
Oh, Valak. I thought you said Balak with a B.
No, Valak is the
No,
name
no,
of the
no, no, no,
demon.
no, no, Nebula, Nebula. I thought, I thought, I thought Balak was spelled with a B, not with a V. So I was like Balak, but no, it's Valak.
Yeah, it's Valak. That's the demon's name.
Well then,
Yeah, and people are literally scared of that nun.
not me. I ain't scared of her.
Well I do because I am I'm a Christian, so I believe in, and I actually do believe in God. So yeah,
Well,
that
I kind of
literally
do
will,
as well, but
yeah,
I
that
kind of
actually
do as
gives me
well.
my
But there's
fear.
one thing I will say this: the one thing that made me less scared of the nun is because I know one thing. Want
What?
to know what my secret is?
Yes.
You gotta know it's not real.
Yeah, it's just only they're just only made to look like it's real.
hmm So whenever you see
Yeah,
like a horror movie, folks, and you believe that character is real, just remember they can't hurt you. They're not real.
Yeah,
And then
it's
you'll be
just a
less scared and
film.
you
It's only a film.
so does this make you less scared of Valak now?
Actually, when I first seen the Nun Chapter 2, I was terrified of it.
Well, don't say anything about chapter 2 because as I said, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, but yeah. Once you see it, I will like I will introduce it. But I will just say my opinions about the Conjuring universe, so like without spoiling it.
I'm just imagining what I would do if I ever saw that nun in real life. If she ever came running at me like roar, I would just
But
poke her in the
actually,
eyes with both my fingers and just say, "Get out of
but
here,
actually, to be honest, Valak is a male.
male, female, whatever." I don't. I'm calling
Yeah,
it
he's a
female
male.
because he's. I'm calling it female because duh, nuns are always girls.
Yeah, I mean,
That's Valak's fault for making me realize it's female.
yeah, the reason why he takes on the form of a nun is so that he can disguise
He's
himself.
transgender.
Yeah, because
I'm saying this as like a joke. He's transgender.
yeah, yeah, some people might even think the same thing.
Well, that's one way to find the funny and the scary.
Yeah, but
That's literally me in a nutshell. I always find the funny in the scary.
yeah, folks, if you are familiar with if you believe in spirit in the paranormal and even in God, then yeah, you you get what I mean.
Well, I kind of do because of this one experience I had when I was little. I one time when I was asleep, think I was 8 years old when this happened. I literally saw like
Yes,
eyes just watching me from my closet in the darkness. But next,
like literally in the dark.
yeah, like I know as a grown up now because I'm 20, I know it's highly impossible to see someone's eyes in the darkness. And my
Yeah,
when I told my mom about
it's
it,
impossible.
when I told my mom about it, she was like, "Oh, it was just me." Lamest story ever, if you ask me. Because
Yeah, because
I
like
told a few friends about it, and turns out they told me that I could have had like a rare occurrence of a shadow person or
or
encounter. There we go, encounter.
yeah,
Good thing.
or possibly you are you're in the presence of an actual spirit.
Well, I will say this: ever since that happened, I slept with my closet light on, and I still
Yeah, same
haven't,
here.
and I still keep it on to this very day. Kind of
Yeah,
stupid, right?
actually, I do the same thing also whenever I feel terrified, like or I can't sleep well at night.
Well, for the record, it doesn't mean that I'm scared of the dark. I'm just afraid of what's in it because, as I said, I saw eyes in my closet just watching me in the darkness. And plus,
Mm-hmm.
my parents, mom doesn't even believe me now because she says it could have been a dream. How could it have been a dream when I was completely awake?
Yeah, but actually, in reality, what you're having are visions.
Visions? There was no
Yeah,
vision.
yeah. I mean, as much as it is, like that was what I meant.
Mm, but still, it's because of that experience. I'm slightly scared of having the lights off at night
Yeah,
because
I'm scared too in times like that.
mainly because since I have pups now and they sleep in my room. No way am I gonna have the lights off and have that encounter happen again. Who knows what could happen to them if I let that happen?
Yeah, who
Ugh.
knows?
So for their safety, closet light stays on permanently.
Yeah. So,
And I don't care about the
anyways,
electric bill billing us for that. I don't care. I'm doing it for their safety. I don't
yeah,
care.
okay. Yeah, now I'm gonna begin my rate. I'm gonna begin my rating here with the first film, which is The Conjuring. So, um, being the start of the entire Conjuring universe, The Conjuring itself, I will say, is like the classic horror movie I've ever seen. Actually, in my personal opinion, like
What? What am I looking at
especially
here?
especially the jump scares there, and then like they have absolutely gave me the fright of my life.
For the record, they just make me laugh because I always expect them before they happen.
Yeah. And then also, Cora, what you're seeing here in this picture is a tree.
I know it's a tree with a noose,
Yeah,
but
because
what is up with the background? That's what I'm questioning. Like, is
that's
that
the
a house
logo.
or a graveyard?
That's a house in because in the story, like in the story, this takes place in Harrisville, Rhode Island.
Okay.
And like the character there that that the Warrens are fighting against is a witch.
Okay.
But if you don't know the name of the witch, I'll tell you the name of the witch.
Nah, 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 nah. It's gonna be a spoiler.
I mean, it's only a character, it's a character only.
Still, spoiler.
Hmm.
Spoiler. No
Yeah,
spoilers.
so yeah, for those of you who don't know, yeah, this is the first Conjuring, the first film in the universe that I've ever watched. So for my rating for this film, I would rate this as a classic a 10 because in my opinion this is like the beginning of the universe that I've seen.
Oh, I forgot I had the Candyman movie.
The Candyman, yeah, I heard of that. I would never forget his scary face.
It's not that scary.
I mean, just a little bit, but yeah.
Plus, if there's one thing I can't stand in the movie, it's I'm not gonna say it because yeah, this is this is the 20th century, not back then.
All right. All right. So
I'm
next
pretty sure
one.
you get what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I do. All right. So anyway,
I just
um,
hate how people were like that.
hate being what?
You know, it starts with an R, and it's based on people's skins.
Ah, yeah. Because I heard many people are like that. They
Ugh.
even when they get salty in video games, they can even be like that as well. And
What's
I
worse, I
was
had
like,
to deal with somebody like that in real life. When now this was a beggar because it was when my dad and I got the rabies shot from our puppies, the final one. This guy
yeah,
comes over and acts all nice, and then I I tell him politely that I couldn't give him any money because he had to use it for the pups' money, like to buy them toys, food. And then he
yeah.
just
I
gets all grumpy and talks about racism right in front of my face. And I'm like, what the heck? Like,
yeah.
what
Like
did
that.
I do? I didn't. I was being polite, not rude. What the
Yeah,
heck?
yeah. You're not supposed to like. I mean, you can refuse politely, but that doesn't mean you have to take it out on your frustrations out on anybody.
And I was just being politely declining his
His
Is
request,
you
yeah.
know, yeah. I was burning up from anger like that because that was completely uncalled for. Ugh.
But yeah, or basically unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
but what? But whatever. You can. I hope karma bites him in the butt later for it.
Yeah. Yeah, karma. Yeah, because karma is a bitch at times.
Ah.
I mean, I know. I had karma too.
And here comes karma for saying a bad word in front of me. Boop.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I deserve that.
You know at this point I don't like bad words, especially since I never said a bad word in my life.
Yeah. I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
But
And then
regardless,
next up,
I think it was just uncalled for that they use racism in the Candyman series. That that is
yeah.
just seriously messed up.
All right. So next up is the next Conjuring movie I'm gonna rate is another classic
I
of
can't
mine that
see
I
it.
like to watch.
What
It's
am I looking at
Annabelle.
though?
So this is
Oh,
not
Annabelle. Okay,
yeah.
I can't see her
So I will
though.
say that Annabelle is one of the first. She's one of my all-time
Uh,
favorite
I just
demonic doll
remembered something
characters.
about her. Um, I'm gonna say it in the private chat, but when I was little and was much of a fan of Goosebumps, this is what I did.
Oh, oh, that's roasting right there.
I mean, it's kind of true though because Slappy is rumored to be possessed by an evil sorcerer, and he has magic. And
Yes.
Annabelle, she has supernatural abilities, and of course, as a young mind, I would have done that in the past, and
Yeah, but
to be fair, I actually still
um,
do.
and actually, fun fact, for those of you who don't know, Annabelle in real life, Annabelle the doll is who I'm talking about. Is yes, she has the power. She has a demon that can manipulate that has behavioral problems. That's
I guess
why
you can kind
if
of see
you
why I kind of ship Slappy and Annabelle.
yeah, and fun fact for many of you who goes to America, you can find
I live in
the real
America.
if you find if you find yourself in Connecticut, uh,
Excuse me.
excuse you. Okay, if you find yourself in Connecticut and you go to the occult museum, you can find the real Annabelle there yourself.
You mean the Raggedy Ann one?
Yes, the true Annabelle.
I think in the movie they actually show the eyebrow doll.
Yes, they do. In the next in the second Annabelle spin-off, Annabelle Creation, which
Mm.
I will get to talk about later on.
I honestly liked all of the Annabelle movies, which
Yeah, but to be
every
honest,
time
like
I learn more about her, it makes me connect to her and Slappy more together. As a couple.
yeah. Yeah, but actually what makes me so scared of Annabelle ever since I watched the film was that demon.
Doesn't scare me that much. It's just a guy in a costume or
Yeah,
CGI.
so if anybody watches the film, yes, Annabelle has a demon.
Which I still think Slappy and Annabelle would be a great couple together because it's like the same thing for
Oh,
Slappy, except it's not a demon, it's an evil magician or sorcerer per se.
or you could ship her with Robert, the if you know Robert the doll. If anyone knows Robert the doll, he's a real creepypasta.
Oh, you
He's
mean
a real
Billy?
creepypasta. No, I was talking
You
about
mean
Robert the
Billy?
doll, but no, I was talking about Robert the real doll who is owned by Robert Eugene Otto, also called
Huh?
Eugene. Yes, Robert the
I need
doll
to
really
see what
does
this looks like.
exist.
I need to see.
Yeah,
Who
look it
the
up.
freak is this Robert person? And I would
No,
because and I
call him
would remember.
no. The doll is based on his actual name, Robert the Doll.
Well, I don't know what he looks like, so you're gonna have to show me because remember can't do it
Okay.
on phone.
Okay, let me look it up so that I will show you what he looks like in real life with so if anyone doesn't know, yes, Robert Eugene Otto and Robert the Doll are based are one of the inspirations for the entire horror of Annabelle themes.
And by the
He's
way,
also one of them.
the way how I imagined Annabelle with a slappy, I would like have her like the same height as him, while also having the same kind of hair as him. Well, a dark brown like Dorothy per se.
Hmm.
You know, from the Wizard of Oz. I
Ah, yeah, the Wizard of Oz. Hmm.
mean, they got the same
So
kind of pigtails or pig braids. I don't know.
yeah, so I'm gonna show a picture here in the chat. I mean here in my avatar to show that Robert Eugene Otto really is an actual man. So Robert Eugene, so Cora, this is how Robert Eugene Otto looks like.
He's an old man.
Yes, he is. He actually because actually when he was younger he owned Robert the doll.
And I need to know what this Robert the Doll looks like.
Yeah, Robert the doll actually almost looks like him. It because according to the story, Robert actually the doll actually resembles him when he was a child.
Why am I thinking of Billy the Puppet, who is also from the Conjuring franchise?
Yeah, Billy. Yeah, I
That's the
remember
one I
that
was
doll.
thinking that was Robert, okay? Don't judge me.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. So
But
Robert,
still, I
this is
still kind of think Annabelle would be more connected with Slappy because both the I can't speak. But I'm trying to say is
oh,
they both have like supernatural abilities. That's what I'm
yeah,
gonna say.
okay. So, Cora, this is what Robert looks like. This is Robert Eugene Otto's own doll that he owned all the way to his adult years.
Eh, definitely would not ship Annabelle with that guy. It
And
looks
yes,
too dull. Plus,
no, actually, he has a dark story because according to the legend, Robert the doll when Robert was given to Eugene Otto as a child, according to the story, the maid put a curse on the doll, like and then whenever whenever Eugene will speak with Robert, it will respond back.
huh,
Yeah, and then when Eugene Otto grew, the doll even terrified his wife, which made her
Auto
go
Gru,
insane.
Auto Gru. Why does it remind me from Gru from Despicable Me? This
Yeah, I
is what I
know the
mean.
name.
I'm always finding the funny and the scary.
Yeah, I know
I
who you
feel like that's
mean.
like my actual gift.
Yeah, okay. So, yes, Eugene Otto and Robert are one and the same here because of their matching faces. And people say
Hmm.
when Robert grew older, he kept it all the way, and then it made his wife go insane.
I don't know why, but the character is just reminding me of Scarface from Batman. You know, where
Oh, yeah.
I forgot the guy's name. It starts with a W, but I I can't
Wait,
remember
who?
the ventriloquist's name, but it literally reminds me of that
Scarface.
very same scenario where
Yeah,
multi
Scarface and the
yeah,
ventriloquist.
Scarface, the dummy.
Yeah, the name. Then
I
actually,
don't know who
the ventriloquist is the name. He's just called the ventriloquist.
but he has like an actual name, like Arnie or something. In the
Yeah.
Batman series I know from 2004.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So anyway,
it's literally like the same thing. They're like split personalities. Scarface is like the dominant side, and the
the
ventriloquist is like the good side. And in one of the
yeah, just like Two
Batman
Face, like
episodes,
just like Two Face, because Two Face also has a good
split
side, and it
personality disorder.
no, he actually has he actually has
It's what I
schizophrenia.
think it's like what I call it. I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
actually,
like a
he
split
has multiple
personality
personality
disorder.
disorder. Yeah, he has multiple personality disorder and schizophrenia.
Mm. But yeah, in one of the Batman episodes, when the ventriloquist got himself a new dummy called Mr. Snoots, he let his good side actually flow out, and he became pretty good. He even celebrated some kids' birthdays with Mr. Snoots until
Yeah,
Doctor Strange happened to bring
Doctor
Scarface
Hugo
back into the
Strange.
picture.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
But I just prefer to call him Doctor Strange because it's much more easier for me to remember.
Yeah,
But regardless,
and he's actually an underrated he's an underrated villain because the re- the reason why he's so underrated is because he's just a doctor in Arkham Asylum.
when I first saw him, I really thought that he was like a good guy because he helped try to track down Doctor not Doctor Detective Yin when Joker kidnapped her and put her inside this huge wind up box that was
Yeah, and
about to explode.
I like the animated Batman, like the Batman animated series.
I will say this: when I was rewatching the series on my phone because you can actually buy the 2004 Batman series. I only did it
Yes.
for nostalgia's sake, and every time I saw the Joker, it literally reminded me of Monkey because he's barefoot.
Yeah, he is barefooted. He is actually barefooted, and
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 plus, he acts all
Kevin
cuckoo.
Richard Kevin Richardson, who plays the Joker there, his laugh makes him sound more insane. Like Joker sounded very insane, like
I
with the
will say
laugh.
this: I do like Harley Quinn's design in that series,
Yeah, in the
and
Batman, yes. But
but heck no, am
there's
I
one
shipping
line
her
I
with
can actually
Joker.
do. Yeah, there's one I can do from the Joker like this. You see, there's this nasty little rumor we'd all like to stomp out.
But I will say this: big ol' nope on Harley X Joker because, as we all know, Joker is not that very, you know,
He's not like
love.
a true spouse at all.
That's why I kind of decided to ship her with somebody else, one of the fan made
Deadshot. Yeah,
characters I
Deadshot.
do. No, it's not Deadshot. It's one of my characters called Lori One. You see
Or
how they
actually, or
met?
Poison Ivy. How about Poison Ivy? Because Poison Ivy treats her like a true spouse, actually.
Uh, I'm not that big on the lesbo stuff because uh, it's just a
Yeah, and
little bit
actually,
disturbing in my
funny
opinion.
thing is when I seen the Harley Quinn's the animated shows, she actually ended up getting married to Poison Ivy.
I will say this: for my ship, it was since I said I ship her with Lori one of my characters. Now I'm actually going to tell you a story on how I made those two meet in the fanverse, as I like to call it. Now
Yes.
it goes like this: Lori one was just down on his luck because too much is on his mind. Like he was
Oh,
corrupted
basically, you
by
could
the
say
Fleetway
down in
virus.
everything was down in the dumps for him.
Yeah, because he was young with an inner demon of his own called lunatic. In this case, a Fleetway lorry. He
Yeah.
kept gnawing at his mind, making him wanting to come out every time he felt angry. Until Harley Quinn fell from the roof and landed in a dumpster. Lori one comes over to her and asks if she's okay. Now he's actually pretty kind when it comes to people he knows pretty well, and especially villains.
Mm.
Eventually, they started to become friends. And whenever Harley was down on her luck when it comes to Joker, Lori One would be the first person to talk to. And
Yeah,
pretty much he was pretty supportive when it comes to her. Eventually, he started to have like a love connection towards her, but he knew that it wasn't meant to be because he's like robotic and she's, flesh.
Oh, so he's a
And
cyborg. Yeah. So basically, you're
isn't
saying
no
he's a
no no he's
cyborg.
like an he's not a cyborg, he's an animatronic per se, or in this case a machine. Eventually, when Harley and Joker finally broke up, he took his time with her and was there for her when when she needed him. And eventually, he soon confessed his feelings to her.
So at least
He
he was able to
originally
get the
thought that
opportunity.
yeah, but he took his time with her. He took his time, like any responsible person would do when they want to at least confess their true feelings towards somebody. Now, when he confessed his feelings towards her, he thought she was gonna hit him, but nope.
Yes.
She eventually she eventually was she was actually very surprised to know, but he just cowered out and just ran off, saying it was stupid of him to confess it that way. But then, let's just say he got himself in a big accident, and she found out a bit of his secret inside of his head. Lunatic, the Fleetway Lori. The
Lunatic.
lunatic actually just, well, let's just say the accident was caused by Joker's thugs, and Lunatic actually
Oh,
find him
like
made himself
basically
known.
Joker's Venom. Yeah, like the accident gave him
It's
the
not the venom. It's a little bit of
special
a
split
infection that
personality.
happened.
So he has
Well,
a
it's
split
something like that.
personality, right?
It's something like that. It's just like another being inside of your own head.
Ah, yeah, yeah. If you have a split personality disorder, yeah, you can fall into that kind of state.
But when a lunatic first came out, he's like half yellow, half black, and his hair's like spiked up like Robin per se. And his
Yeah.
eyes are
Uh,
and his eyes,
what Robin is? Are you mentioning? Dick Grayson, Jason
yeah,
Todd, or Tim Drake?
Dick Grayson, Dick Grayson.
Ah,
Now I
Nightwing.
will say this,
I see who you're talking about.
his
It's Nightwing.
now I will say this, Lunatic's eyes are creepy as heck. Like one side is white with red circles, like like a target per se, while the other
Oh,
one
like a
is the same but pitch black.
yeah. So his pupils are actually white, red, and then his and his iris is actually white.
No, no, no. His eyes are completely white. Well, on the left one, except like if you've seen Fleetway Sonic, they're like that. But the right one, however, is pitch black with those red circles. And when he
Ah,
first
so
came out, and he actually beat the snot out of Joker Suggs, and until there was nothing left of him. Like he didn't kill him, but just full on beating.
he only just destroyed them, but he killed no one else.
Yeah, and let's just say
Just like the
Lunatic
Ghost
is.
Rider, like when he seeks his vengeance, he will not kill anyone.
Let's just say Lunatic is like the 24 the 2004 Joker. Like his laugh is exactly like that Joker's, and
Like
he's completely
but is he
insane
much
in the
is
head.
Lunatic really much more insane, right? Like is he like
Yeah,
very
like if he ever met like the Creeper or Joker, instantly demolish them if he wanted to.
yeah, the creeper from the Batman animated series. Yeah, I've seen him.
Eventually, when Harley saw this, she knew that something had to be done. She instantly hugged Lunatic, and do you want to know something funny? Lunatic
Yes.
is afraid of Harley because Lunatic knows that Lori One is attracted to her. And when
So
Harley hugged Lunatic, he immediately went back into
he had
Lori
fear.
One's head.
So yeah, basically he had a fear. He has fear also. Dang. I guess he really
Yeah, because
recognized that smell.
he knows Lori One loves Harley. So he went back into Lori One's head, and of course, since the lunatic was out for a very long time, Lori One fell unconscious right in Harley's arms. She immediately got help
Damn.
from she immediately got help from Ivy because you know, Harley
Yeah,
trusts
because they're
her.
friends. Yeah, and I actually remember like Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn are they're the best. They're the best of actually of the friends because their formation of the
Hmm.
Gotham Sirens are one of the best team members.
Now, getting back to the story, Ivy didn't seem very fond of Lori One because obviously it's a guy, and
Yeah, and if she
we
kissed
all
him, and
know
if
how.
Ivy will kiss him, she will poison him, like for
No,
like
not
that
really,
sort of
because
thing.
he's made of metal. He's
Ah, yeah.
he's
So the poison would not kill him.
and eventually when Lori One wakes up, he recalls everything and just feels ashamed of himself for letting out, you know, the inner demon.
So he always yeah. That's why he feels shame whenever his demon side will come out.
Get unleashed. Yeah.
Mm. Or yeah,
However,
because does he always need to unleash the beast with him whenever he is in his lowest terms,
well,
or
he
does it only
basically
appear
tries
like
to
just
keep it.
randomly?
Well, it appears randomly whenever he gets angry, like he feels like he wants to punch
Just like the
something.
Hulk. Yeah, almost like the Hulk. Yeah.
Of course, when he wakes up, he does feel ashamed, but Harley forgives him.
Oh.
And this,
Mhm.
and I will say this: Ivy does trust him because he respects women, even villain
Ah.
women.
Yeah, it's nice that he's not really a womanizer. Like he doesn't really like. I mean, he has like the biggest respects towards girls. Like that one. He's
Well,
kind
he
of like
respects guys as well
the way his
because they're like,
personality is like
mm.
your character. It's almost like me. Also, like he's kind of like me in many ways.
And of course, Ivy does trust him once he when she finds out that he's a trustworthy person to all genders, especially since he doesn't want to fight people. He's more of a
Mm.
pacifist than a genocide. Lunatic is a genocide while he's the pacifist.
Oh yeah, because I know what a pacifist is. Like there are people who adore the thrill of not in war but in peace.
Hmm. But eventually, once Harley and Lori One get to know each other more, they eventually have a love connection.
Mm.
And and what's even more wholesome is that I made I made Lori One give Harley a gift. Now it's nothing physical. It's just something that he did really nice for her. He did like
Oh.
a painting on the very alley they met. It says Lori One and Harley Quinn forever, and it shows them hugging each other with a really nice background of Gotham City. Isn't that
Oh.
nice? Just a full on painting of them
Yeah,
being
now
together.
I'm imagining that like for you and your for you like that one and your boyfriend. I'm imagining that already.
And also, hi Lila. She's in
Yeah,
chat.
hey sis. Yeah, if you want to
But
if you want to join the stream, sis, yeah,
excuse
feel
me.
free to join.
But
Oh, excuse you.
with that aside, you can get back to your Conjuring thing.
All right, so moving on. So Annabelle, I will give it also a 10. And then okay, next up, that came out late after the Annabelle
Still ship
is none
slapping
other
Annabelle.
than where the nun first appeared, The
The
Conjuring 2.
Conjuring 2. Have not seen any of the other Conjuring movies
Mm.
except for the Annabelle ones and the Nun.
Yeah, so The Conjuring 2, this one takes place in England. If where you know the whole entire as
That
its name says, the Enfield Poltergeist.
your thing actually cut out for some reason.
Oh, okay. So I was about to say that The Conjuring 2 is also called the Enfield Poltergeist.
Okay then. And
So
now every time I hear the
yeah.
word poltergeist, it just reminds me of the movies of poltergeist. one, two, and
Yes.
three, and also the remake.
Yeah, the Enfield poltergeist is actually a spirit. Actually, that what I'm talking about.
I
But
know.
there's also a cameo. There's a cameo appearance there in The Conjuring 2. There's a cameo appearance
Okay.
of a famous case that the Warrens also that they also visited.
Okay.
And if anyone knows if anyone knows this cameo, then yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to know the cameo of that appeared in the Enfield Poltergeist?
I have not seen that, as I said. The only
Oh,
Conjuring movies I have seen are the Annabelle movies, along with the Nun.
have you are you familiar with the Amityville horror?
What?
The Amityville horror.
Nope.
Oh, there's a house in Amityville that actually makes the biggest headlines of that movie.
All right then.
All right, so for this one, this is also an A plus in my list as well because of two reasons. One, this one had like the most intense jump scares among the Conjuring among the rest of the Conjuring universe, and two, we get to see the appearance of the demon nun Valak, like uh, like that's a nice touch to appear in the film.
I'm just
All
wondering
right, so
when Billy the Puppet first made its debut.
yeah, okay, so next up in our list, we have the sequel to the which is a chapter 2 of the Annabelle series, which is Annabelle Creation.
Obviously.
Yeah, the next up is the Annabelle Creation. So yes, and as you can tell by the title, it's where how she is created.
Of course. And I have seen the movie. It's where these foster girls come into this house with a nun, I believe, or whatever
Yeah, it
the
was a sister. It was a sister.
yeah, but I forget what the thing is called. What you call a nun when they're in training, like before they actually become a nun.
Oh,
I forget
like
what it's called,
they're
but
still sister. They're still a sister, but like they
they're
always
not
call
fully a
themselves
nun yet.
sisters. Like yeah, even though they're not fully a nun, they still call them sister, like that one. Even though they haven't taken their vows.
I know, but that's what I think this nun lady is. A early nun, as I'll call it for now, until I
Yeah,
know the
let
actual
me look
name
it
for
up
it.
here.
But yeah, eventually they the kind couple that lives in that house they have a they have like a dark secret, and it involves that Annabelle doll. They were trying to bring back their little sunshine, their their daughter, as per said in the movie, and they let her soul, or at least they thought it was her soul, move into the doll. But in reality, they soon find out that they let in a demon. Now, I have a feeling that
Actually, yeah, they're actually still called a nun or sister. They're still actually,
but the
but
actual
they haven't taken
name,
their vows yet.
the name for a nun who hasn't taken their vows. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, let me oh,
Now,
let me look at the word. It's a ah okay. I see what it is. It's a novitiate actually.
what is
A
albeit?
novitiate.
There we go. An albeit, a vitiate. There we go. A vitiate.
Novitiate. Yeah.
Mm. But
Yeah,
yeah, this novitiate.
basically, yeah, there's a bunch of girls with a novitiate name was in
Yeah,
here,
But
or novitiate.
I
Yeah,
do know the
right.
nun's name. I do know the officiate's name, Charlotte, because I've seen that movie multiple times that I actually remember what happened. Now, eventually, this one girl who was disabled, as I'll say, she eventually finds
You
the
mean
doll.
a paraplegic? Yeah, is paraplegic.
I call him I'll just say disabled because I don't I'm just saying what I see, okay? Now
Yeah,
the
the
girl,
scientific word for that is paraplegic.
but I'm just calling it disabled because it's just me.
Yes, same.
Now the disabled girl, she finds the Annabelle doll in a locked away closet. And she doesn't know any better and thinks it's just your average doll that's not demonic. And she eventually finds out that the truth about it. Well, the nun does, or officiate. I keep forgetting that's what they
Yeah,
call a nun
the
before their
novitiate
vows.
finds out later on in the film.
Uh-huh. And eventually the little girl gets possessed by this per se demon that's inside the Annabelle
Malthus.
doll.
Malthus is its name.
Oh, I thought it was Vala because
No,
she was
Valak
my
and
original
Malthus are two different demons.
my original thought was it was the same demon from the nun, but nope. There goes that theory out the window.
No, because
But
Annabelle's demon Malthus is like it's unlike Valak's demon, like unlike the demon Valak, because Valak is more like has more horns than than Malthus does.
basically, you're saying that Malthus is the devil.
Yeah, but both are the devil.
Well, devils, because there's more than one.
Yeah, they're both devils.
But regardless, getting back to my summary, eventually they fight back against the devil or the demon at all costs. Some of them do manage to get out of there alive while being scarred for life, but eventually the girl goes missing, and she's no longer disabled because she's possessed by the Persei demon.
Yeah,
Eventually,
which
we
cured
did
her
eventually,
cured her legs from it.
yeah, but later on in the movie we see the girl with
A
the
new
doll.
family. Yeah.
Hmm. And of course, as we see in the end credits, which is the very same scene we see in the first Annabelle movie,
Yeah,
where
and
where the girl sacrifices her parents all because of a cult.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's where it all began for the origin story of Annabelle.
I will
So
say
for
this:
our
I do
yeah
find it kind of hilarious because the couple that was in the beginning of the movie, they called their little daughter their sunshine, and of course they would play "You Are My Sunshine." Hate
yeah,
it.
like it's what,
I hate the song. It's just bleh.
like
My
it doesn't
mom
make any
always
sense.
no. It does make sense because it's just like a coincidence per se. But I just don't like the song because my mom kept singing it every time I was like I'm in a good mood. I used to like it, but since she kept like singing it whenever we were in a good mood, it just got, annoying.
Yeah,
Blech.
and in the ending, like after when you see Annabelle there in the same spot, like
Hmm.
you can even hear a music box playing.
And it sings and it plays that very song.
Yeah, it plays a different, but actually in that's the same music box from The Conjuring where it plays the exact same
You
almost
keep
the
cutting in and out.
oh yeah, my bad. Is this
That's
better?
fine. Yeah, it's back to how it was before. It could
Yeah,
just be
sorry about
my
that.
end or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, and yeah, that music box is actually called the doll box.
Of course it was because there's a doll involved.
Yeah, and then it made that same music, that same music, like
It plays that very see it plays that sunshine song. It's that very same
yeah, but
song.
in a music, yeah, but in like in a softer tone.
I know.
And yeah, what makes it really scary when what I really screamed at was the part where Annabelle's head moved. Actually, that in the ending that made me scream.
It really didn't scare me all that much because the puppeteering, you gotta remember, it's just a movie.
Yeah, but and you can't even see the string. You can't see the strings in the movie. Like that's good editing.
Eh, well, there are some films that Dad and I actually spotted, like where per se Jurassic Park. The door is actually left open for the car doors when it's in the T-Rex scene. Then a later shot, boom, car doors closed.
Yeah,
My dad and I actually spot that.
yeah, and then
That's
next
what
up
that's what I'm
here,
saying. That's what I'm saying. I always like to find the funny in horror movies, like spot the
yeah,
small mistakes they made.
and then there's a cameo in in the very end of the film where, of course, the nun returns.
Wait, what? Are you still talking about the Annabelle creation movie?
Yeah, there is a cameo in there's a final like there's a pre-ending scene clip there of the nun who that made a return.
What?
But this time it's in a church.
Where in the movie did that happen? Actually, because
Like
I'm thinking it's like the
after
painting
the end,
bit.
it was after the ending credits. It was after the ending.
Oh, I didn't. I should have seen that because whenever it came to the credits, I keep forgetting that they always tease something at the end.
Like on the very
People,
end of the film. Yeah.
yeah, I should have stuck around to see that. I'm so dumb,
Actually, I was able to see it actually when my dad downloaded the film and I was able to find it.
bruh.
And yeah, so the rating we give this the Annabelle creation film is an that it will be still an A plus as well.
I really think that Annabelle is like a good antagonist, as I'll call it. Like
Yeah, she's a
she's
good
on the same
antagonist
level
because
as
of her
she's like on
role
the
as
same uh,
like just to manipulate like the entire scenes and all that
it,
stuff. Yeah.
she's like exactly like the same level as Slappy because as we all know in the books, Slappy likes to pretend to be a good person and makes the child think that, or actually no, the grown-ups think that the kid controlling Slappy is the one doing all those acts, like the biting, the insults, the slapping, heck, even the vomit. I don't even know what the green gunk is that in the books, Slappy or in this
All
case,
right.
Mr.
Yeah.
Wood, aka Wally, spit out.
Yeah, and next up here, this is to where it all started where it started all in that ending where it begins, which is of course the one and only
The
nun.
nun.
Yeah, where it all began.
I do like how the scene they start the movie in is really, really different compared to the rest of it. Like
Because
they
it's
talk
actually
about the
scenes from the
painting.
Conjuring 2. They are scenes from the Conjuring 2.
Yep.
Like they
And
basically in yeah, so basically in the film, yes, those scenes in the beginning
uh,
are all they're all
you're
copied
cutting
of
out
the
again.
Conjuring 2. Oh, whoops. Okay.
It happened
So,
again.
oh,
Yeah.
dang it. Okay, so anyway, all of the scenes there in the beginning are all recycled portions of the Conjuring 2.
Now, as I said in the beginning, when we were talking about the Nun Chapter 2, I did say that it was the exact same year that my dad was born in, like the year it's based off in, as I said. I do find it interesting though that it's made in the same year that, well, basically the
The
time
time
thing.
frame, yeah, the time frame.
Yeah, it's the exact same year as my dad was born in, as he told me.
19 in the 1950s.
Yeah, and
Dang.
I might as well say the summary on what I remember from the movie. Now, we do get introduced to a young novice, or I forget the name again.
No, there the yeah, because in this, so the plot about it, like a little bit of the plot is that a priest, Father Burke, and
Yeah, I know the name, but
a novitiate who was able who was
novitiate.
yet
There we go.
who was yet to
It,
complete her vows, Irene,
yeah,
travels to a
yeah,
church in
Sister
Romania
Irene.
to investigate a nun's death.
And however, but they don't know that it was just a sacrifice
Yeah,
because
they didn't know it until the end, like until they found out about what had happened.
now quick summary on it from my perspective. It begins with Sister Irene in a kid's school, just teaching them about the Bible and stuff, like how some
Like
animals are.
typical Christian schools, yeah, as
Yep.
typical Christian schools do.
And eventually, the priest and Sister Irene go to the place where they are reported
It's in
to,
Romania. Like
and
what you're
yeah,
talking,
Romania.
it's in Romania.
And we get introduced to a French Canadian called Frenchie, as he is called.
Whom his name is actually named Maurice. Maurice
I know,
Thierry.
but I know, but I'm throughout this whole summary, I'm gonna call him Frenchie because that's how I remember
That's
it.
his nickname. Yeah, we will say his nickname all the way out.
Yeah, and I do like how the priests put their bags on a cart, which it starts driving away with it until they realize that they made a slight oopsie. That's
Yeah,
the one thing I love about that part.
yeah.
And
Like there's a bit of
eventually,
comedy in there.
now it's the scene soon changes to Frenchie explaining the backstory somewhat on the church, or yeah, I'm gonna call it the church for now
And
because it's
even yeah,
something else.
he even showed the priest and the nun what had happened, like where he found the body.
And what is interesting that he actually takes the nun's body to a cold area, and what's even more scary is that
Yeah,
he
it's
says
actually to
if
preserve. They actually keep in reality. By the way, Cora, they actually do that to actually preserve the body for for
huh,
embalming, or like when they will bury it.
I'll have to ask my dad about that because
Yeah,
he's actually a
that's
nurse
actually true
IRL.
because oh, he's a nurse. Oh, because actually,
Yeah,
fun
so was
fact.
my mom.
Because fun fact. Morticians right now they actually sometimes freeze the body when they for embalming, and then so that they can bring it to the funeral home, and then
All right.
where family and relatives can look at the body, and then before its burial.
Now, getting back to the summary, when the priest and the nun or novice, I keep forgetting that. I'm just
Novitiate, yeah,
gonna
the novitiate.
novitiate. I keep forgetting, but the novitiate when they see the body, they see it sitting upright, and what's even interesting is that Frenchie says that's not how he left the body. Now we don't see what the original position the nun he left the nun in, but then they see something in the nun's hand. It looks like a odd key that leads to somewhere. Now we don't know
Yeah,
what
but
this
they
key
don't know the
leads to.
mystery yet. But so it was a
Yeah.
mystery with with that key, what they were gonna get.
Now in the beginning, from the very like when it shows the time frame, we see like two nuns with that very key, and they go someplace where is
Where it
there's
said
there's like
God
a
ends
there's
here.
like yeah, I was gonna say that, but that nun who sacrificed herself, she was holding that very same key that leads to that very place. Now they don't know what it leads to until later on in the movie, which I will explain later on. Time
Yes, like both
scene
of us will
changes to
explain a bit of the like a bit of the plot later on.
now the scene changes to when they go inside this big church, and we get introduced to the abyss, like the
Yeah, or the
mother
Reverend
nun,
Mother. That they call it. Yeah, in churches in real life, they call the nuns like who run this church like that one or anybody like Reverend Mother, like the Reverend Mother as the leader of the church.
but I'm just calling this nun abyss because that's what the priest calls her when we first
Yes.
get introduced to her. And she basically explains a little bit more about the church and
Yeah,
say
about a
that
small
the nuns
detail,
take
like
like
small
a vow,
details about the church. Yes.
and she says that until dawn to dusk they have a vow of silence. Now, what I think the vow of silence is, nobody is allowed to talk,
Yeah,
like
they like it's
until
actually
they
in
are allowed
reality
to.
that's actually something that's actually something that nuns do. Like, whatever they see or hear, they should not look at it or don't stop praying.
Hmm. Now, taking a water break. Okay,
And anyway, so
moving.
while they were
Get,
investigating the rest of the church,
the
the
priest
abbess
finds a
gave the
book,
yeah
an
the abbess
unknown
even
book,
the abbess even gave them like a good place to stay in, like, which is of course in the convent. And
which
after when they left,
at that point the
events
supernatural
actually did
starts.
happen.
Like we first see the first supernatural incident with Frenchie, wherein he is going home. He sees the hanging nun, as I'm going to call it for now.
Yeah,
He
it's a
sees it.
hanging nun because it's a corpse.
He watches as this corpsey nun tries to hang herself again, and it chases after him with a snake coming out. At least that's what I think happened.
Oh,
And
actually, no.
eventually,
It doesn't have a snake coming out. It just roared. It just let out a demonic roar.
or screech, as I think.
Yeah, it's a
And
demonic screech or roar that it gave.
it eventually disappears. And what's even funny is that he takes one of the one crosses with him, saying,
Because he was
"I'll be
afraid.
taking
Like,
that."
yeah, it's because he was afraid that because what he saw there was very real.
It's just so funny though because it just randomly takes out one of those things and just carries it with him throughout the
Yeah,
entire thing.
a wooden cross. Yeah, just to because he was very afraid of being attacked again by a demonic creature.
Oh, and moving on, we eventually get the next supernatural occurrence with the priest. Now,
Father, yeah, because Father Burke said a story about what had happened like in
yeah,
his past
he basically performed an exorcism that went
on a
wrong.
boy, like yeah, on a
Yeah.
boy, but it suddenly went wrong
Mm-hmm. Eventually,
because
the boy
according to him that
was soon
his
killed.
yeah he sustained severe injuries during the exorcism, ones for which he could not recover.
Eventually, when the novitian and the priest get to bed, he soon wakes up to the radio going off. Now,
And
that radio was
a
playing
sound of a boy
earlier.
giggling.
He eventually goes to investigate, and he
He
sees
found out,
that
yeah, it
very
was the
same
very
boy he
same
performed an
boy. He
exorcist on.
Yeah, but something was wrong because
Mm-hmm.
suddenly the boy started to he started to like regurgitate a venomous snake. But and
That's
then
where I was confused with
that's when
the
people
corpsey
realize
nun.
it.
That's where the snake first came out.
Yeah, and that's where it he realized it was indeed that was actually the devil itself.
But which is Valak, as you said. And
Yeah,
eventually, he finds himself inside a coffin,
he was
buried
buried
alive.
alive.
And
Yeah,
And
and
of
actually
course,
in real life, Cora, pause for a sec.
I know about
In real
I
life,
know about
buried people being buried alive is actually a thing that, because
I know it's
medicine
because of
back
the
then wasn't
plague
actually
thing.
a
It's about the
science.
plague. It's about the plague. Where they had like these bells in case they accidentally thought of someone dead, and they would have to like ring it just to make sure they fix that mistake. It was because of the plague.
Indeed.
And eventually, Sister Irene wakes up because of another vision she had where it says, Mary points the way. Now, I will get into detail on what that means later. She
Yeah, we
eventually,
will go. We will get into detail about that. What that meaning that deals that is saying. If people don't know about about the storyline,
Sister Irene goes outside to find Father. And eventually, she
because he
does find
realized,
him.
yeah, because she realized he was lost. Like he was not there, and then she goes to investigate inside a chapel, which was still like which was very dark and quiet. But
And
then,
she
she
eventually
was followed
sees
by a
this demonic
presence.
nun.
Yeah,
She
she was followed
eventually
by a
sees
presence in there.
she sees the demonic nun for the very first time, and it does go away, and then she immediately runs out to the graveyard. Now this is where it gets interesting. The
And very
supernatural
confusing
presence,
as well.
the supernatural presence rings multiple bells, which tries to trick her until eventually she finds the proper burial site where Father was buried alive.
Father
And
Burke
as
is
she,
his name, by the way.
I'm gonna call it the priest regardless because I'm not gonna remember the name.
Hmm.
Anyways, as she's trying to get him out, the supernatural presence gets a bit stronger and scares the scares the priest a bit more. Where he believes that he's not alone in there until bing, the shovel blade cuts through the boards, and she gets him out.
Yeah, and he realized the one that grabs him in from the coffin was indeed a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
But he
Is it the
also found
Valak demon
another.
or the kid? We don't know.
Yeah,
It
but
could
actually
be.
it was shown for in a small frame. If you watch the footage, if you
Mm,
watch the footage of the movie frame by frame, just before the
I
shovel
actually
hit,
did see it.
it was
I actually
actually
did see
indeed a demonic face that was holding him.
which I believe was the kid. Now, eventually, they do go inside you go inside the church
The
again,
convent,
and
the convent,
I'm
yeah.
still calling it the church. Okay, I'm
Yeah, and
still
then
calling it the church.
they brought the books that they had found in the grave.
Mm-hmm. And Father does study them just to see what they mean. While he's doing
While
that,
sister, yeah, while sister, and then sister
Sister Irene
Irene,
is conversing with
mm,
the other nuns, and she learns more about the place, how it was bombed down because and
of the war that shook it.
yeah,
And then
and basically that very
one
explosion
and
caused
one
a
nun,
very
yeah, and one
caused
nun named Sister like Sister Owana tells her the origin of the entire place, which was built during the Dark Ages.
yeah, where
And
somebody was trying to release a dark being from the underworld, and
in
when
which
the
to call
church
upon all
knights
the forces of
stormed the
hell,
place.
as you could say. And they
Eventually
managed to shield it
the
away.
church knights they eventually came and stopped this ritual from happening, and they sealed off the I
The
can't speak,
gateway, like, so
the
they sealed the
gateway,
gateway with an ancient relic containing a
the blood
blood
of
of
Christ.
Jesus. Yeah, of course.
Now,
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, yes, this blood is actually from Jesus Christ himself.
anyway, moving on, the father eventually finds out what the books mean and what they are for, and the abbess we see is none other than Valak himself in disguise, because we hear like a crack from the abyss,
Like what? Yeah,
as if it's like a
her
neck
neck
snap.
cracked. Yeah, and his even his candelabrum also went out.
Mm-hmm. And we then again see the boy later on,
Yeah,
where he's taunting
after
the.
he was in his after he went out of the confession room, because
Mm-hmm.
if you see those pews there, the one that were like if you see those wooden doors there that were where they can stand and sit down, those are actually for a priest and somebody like where they can say their confessions.
Yeah. Anyways, back with Sister Irene, but she gets locked inside the whole thing, and she has to stay a night locked up. Now, we don't know how this other nun got in, but it's pretty crazy because we see her hunched over praying, and the beads from her
The
rosary, as
rosary.
I'll call it. I said rosary.
Yeah, the rosary is actually a thing. That's a thing that
I know.
yeah, Mother Mary, yeah, even Mother Mary herself, like the actual Mother Mary,
Mm.
she always holds it in her hand,
And we watch as this nun breaks those beads, and it rolls towards Sister Irene. And when she
yeah,
turns
the
back,
beads like were falling
boom!
off,
When this demonic nun turns back, boom! Jump scare. And eventually, she does find herself in a new place that's
which is the
still a part of the
corridor.
church.
It was a corridor of process that she was investigating.
And what is crazier is that Valak tries to consume Sister Irene by sucking her into the same place. But eventually,
Or
Sister
like there
Irene
were many
does manage
theories
to.
saying that it was either either the demon wanted to get the key because we saw that the key there in the scene was falling off. So it
Mhm.
was this it was said it was believed that Valak must have been wanting to get the key so that they will never know what they will not know where to find the relic.
But
But thanks
remember,
to
in the beginning of the movie, where the two nuns are trying to stop all this, the other nun says, "Do not let the demon get you. It needs a vessel to escape." So
yeah,
maybe it was
because
after.
they it needs a
Maybe
human
Valak was
host to
after
survive.
both.
Yeah,
Maybe it was
basically,
after both Sister Irene and the key,
yeah,
because we
because it
do
was
see.
they knew because Sister Irene knew where it could lead.
Now, eventually, she does prevail as Sister Awana does get her away from there, and she explains about the Valak, the fake nun,
Yeah,
and
she explained also that at night that area is very dark. Like it
mhm.
like the entire presence there is as cold as as cold as the Arctic itself.
Well, I guess we need to definitely chill out on this explanation.
Yeah. Yeah, decent pun 1 point. I'll give you that.
Anyways, she eventually does go into one of the rooms where we see the nun still praying, and and as we can see outside the shot, there's a body there, and it's covered up. Sister
But
Irene
later
does go to the body,
we
and it
found out
turns
it was
out.
indeed Sister Owano.
Now, people might be confused, but if you ask me, I think it was the spirit of Sister Owana saving Sister Irene from Valak.
Yeah, from eternal damnation from the demon.
And what's even more interesting is that once she does see the body, the other nuns come in, and they have to do praying just to survive. And what's even more crazier is that this supernatural force pushes all of the nuns except for Sister Irene while it's creating a mark on her shoulder.
And actually
Or,
it was revealed to be it's actually a satanic sign that it was marking on her body.
mm-hmm,
Because in reality if a star is upside down on under in a circle, that is the demon's summoning circle. But
yeah,
if
I
it's
do
different,
know
if
that
it's a
for a fact.
different, and if it's in a different line where where the star is upright and it's covered in a circle, That's actually more
Um,
on the white mystic arts.
and what's funny to me is that every time I see something like that now, it just reminds me so much of Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Yeah,
Anyways, eventually, when sister, when they finish praying, the father comes in and
along with
all,
Frenchie,
and then
after an encounter with a demon.
and we see all of the nuns except for the body are gone. And when Sister Irene says we were praying and there are no more nuns left, and
Because
that's when they,
because all that Sister Irene seeing was nothing but past hallucinations.
or in this case, visions,
Yeah,
because that's what the priest believes in. They're visions from Sister Irene. And then again we hear Mary points the way. Now this is where we come up to the explanation behind that. They eventually go to the chambers with Frenchie, and they see a statue of Mary
of Mother
herself,
Mary and Jesus Christ himself. Yeah.
and we see a light shining off of Mary's finger, and it looks like she's pointing. And that's where the explanation of Mary points the way comes from. It's the statue pointing to the spot where the blood of Christ is.
Yes, and many and Sophie's in the chat. Hey Sophie.
Hey, you want to join
So
us?
yeah, if you feel free to join us if you want to, and because right now we're explaining the some
The
parts of the
Conjurings.
Conjuring universe. Yeah. So anyway, after they recovered the blood of Christ, Father Burke entrusts the blood to Sister Irene since she already made her vows, and
Mm-hmm.
so their search for Valak began in here. But so they went separate ways with with Frenchie taking the other route, Father Burke taking the other side, and Sister Irene taking
Where
the
he
middle.
encounters some more demonic nuns, and he does vanquish them with the lamp that he uses.
Yeah, and
That
sister. So Frenchie only came in the other side with a shotgun and a lamp. But he later got scared off by by an invisible force that was spotted there. While Sister Irene looked around to search for other clues, she found out like there was a sign there which was a candle.
mm-hmm.
She followed the light, but then more candles lit up until she looked on the floor and
There was
discovered it
it
was
was a
indeed
demonic symbol for the ritual,
a summoning circle of the devil.
and she gets possessed by Valak himself.
Yeah, and along with that, like she was surrounded by a bunch of like
Copies of herself with bags over their heads.
or possibly they are also mystic nuns also that were executed in the same manner.
Frenchie does eventually find the real
Find
Irene once he hears her cry for help. And
Yeah,
we
and he
do
removes the
see
sack from her head. Yeah, he removes
Valak possessing Sister Irene. Now,
because he was hiding in her body while Frenchie tried to check on her. But what he didn't know was that Valak was already got to her first. So Valak launched Frenchie right into a pillar and begins taunting him with his own words.
and of course, what's funny is I'm French Canadian. He just gets some of the blood
He
on Sister Irene's
he
face.
roasted Valak. Yeah, he roasted Valak because Valak didn't know the true
He's French
his
Canadian.
true. Yeah, so he with that roast, he managed to smear some of the blood of Christ on Sister Irene's face, which cast the
As I
devil
said.
out.
However, things get more intense because the gateway, as we see, is flooded. It's flooded. And
Yeah, and
of course, Valak does his best just
we
to
were
get the
able to
blood away
see,
from Sister Irene.
and we also see that we were able to see Valak's true face in the frame. Then
Mm-hmm.
like as she roars, she chokes Frenchie to until she made him unconscious. Then
Yeah,
later we
you
see.
call Valak a she. You call
Yeah,
Valak a
oh
she.
sorry, because yeah, my bad. Okay, so
It's fine.
well,
I still think that
yes,
Valak as a
yeah.
nun
So
is a
Valak,
female
yeah. So
anyway.
Valak then after knocking on Frenchie unconscious,
She
we
he
see
goes to
we
she
see a
goes to
frame of
drown him.
Father Burke. We
And
see a frame of Father Burke getting attacked by the boy named Daniel, and then later he was bit in the eye by a snake, and
hmm
then in the final battle between the nun and the demon tried to drown, of course, Sister Irene with Father Burke
However,
trying to do the ritual but failed at
but
the
how
attempt.
however, little did Valak know, Sister Irene had the rest of of blood's of the
Yeah, she played
blood
it.
in her mouth,
She tried to play a trick, like so in that scene she played a trick on Valak by breaking the relic, and
and she literally just spat at him with the blood inside. And eventually, we watch as Valak
the
gets
demon was
vanquished
like
back into the
yeah,
underworld where he belongs.
yeah, where
And
so yeah, and basically Valak's face burned as like into a crisp due to the pressure of the higher power. Because
mhm.
as you may know, demons are afraid of Christ himself, or if are they can be even held back by religious items. So if you have a crucifix or holy
Hmm.
water, they will be afraid because those items alone could
that
repel the demon
reminds me
back.
that reminds me, going back to Annabelle creation, when we get first introduced to the doll, there are drawings of crucifixes all around that closet. So I'm pretty sure that that's like a same representation of what you're saying. Anyways,
Yeah.
getting back to the nun,
So
it's like a job
after
well
Frenchie
done.
was able to save Irene, he revealed his true name.
Yeah, unfortunately, how
But little did they
I want to say
know.
it. I want to say it. I want to say it.
Oh, hey Sophie, welcome to
Little
the stream.
eventually we do see eventually we do see on his shoulder very
Or his neck, yeah.
unvi- there's a there's a symbol right there barely visible,
But it was
and
actually
the scene,
indeed an upside down cross, meaning he was possessed by the devil.
or in this case Valak.
And the time skipped to, of course, the first Conjuring film, where it
hmm
took place.
and we do see that the truth has been revealed to Sister Irene. Frenchie was possessed by Valak and tried to get to her, and
Yes. So
that's where the
yeah,
movie ends. We see the
yeah.
credits of
So
these faceless nuns, the same nuns that the priest had to deal with and
yeah,
vanquished.
and also we get to see also a little bit more detail of what it was seen in the books.
hmm
Yeah,
It is,
including the sign of the upside down cross also that was shown in the film.
yeah.
Then I will give this rating of the nun. Like I will say that this one is the best interpretation or the best spin-off of the Conjuring universe.
Yep.
Like,
I'll agree. I'll
what
agree
about
on you for
yours?
that.
What about yours,
Uh,
Cora?
it's actually really interesting. Like, it's one of the top tiers, especially since I found a fun fact that the time frame that it's meant to be based in is the same year my dad was born, as he told me. That's what made
Hmm.
it like boosted
Bit
it
more
up a bit more
interesting,
to the
yeah.
10.
Yeah. So, Sophie, how much? What will you give yours? Like, what will be your rating?
If you've seen the movie, basically.
I haven't seen the
You
movie
haven't
yet,
seen the
so
film?
no.
Uh,
Uh,
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, and fun fact, Cora, I have a crucifix. I have a crucifix with me right now.
Oh,
Yeah, because
Well, my
fun
mom
fact,
actually has like
last
a
night because last time after I watched the movie The Nun 2, I got hallucinations of some last night that night actually. I was
when I
hallucinating
watched the
that
movie for
night.
the first time. Well, my dreams are like random. They're just they have no meaning whatsoever. And
Hmm.
every time I watch a horror movie, I don't get nightmares about it. Is that a
Yeah,
weird thing?
so no, I
I
don't find it weird.
It's maybe because I'm not that scared of them of watching the movies. Kind of why I don't have nightmares about them.
Yeah, so next up, which is this is gonna be another spin-off, but this is a different one, which will lead us to one of the it's okay, it's a meh movie, which is The Curse of La Llorona.
Oh, I think I've seen something like that. I think I've seen the movie, but I don't remember much of it, so I'm not going to be much
Yeah,
help with
so
this summary.
basically, The Curse of La Llorona. This is based on the actual
I
legend
do know the
itself.
story of I do know the story of La Llorona. There's even been like a episode for R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour based on the La Llorona, the weeping woman as it's called in English.
In English, yeah, and its
I
name and her real name, according to many sources of the story, according to the story, the real name of the La Llorona was named Maria,
Yeah, Maria.
and
Now,
then she
if
was cursed
I'll
actually by God to wander
I'll
the earth
explain like
looking
the
for her
I'll
children.
ex- I was gonna explain the backstory on her.
Mm. Yeah, go ahead. Explain a bit of the story. Go.
So Maria, the weeping woman, is, or as we all call her now, La Llorona. She was once a beautiful young woman who eventually caught the eye of a young man, and he eventually married her. She eventually produced two children, two boys, I presume,
Yeah,
and eventually
there were two kids that were in her
and
relationship.
eventually she started to see less and less of the husband until he
Yeah, but
eventually found somebody else, and
yeah, because
she was
it's basically said that her husband's love for her simply ran out.
and she was crushed, heartbroken, and
And
she was full of fury.
yeah,
So
and
she
madness took
eventually
over her and she ran home where she took her
she
children's
th-
lives.
th- I was gonna get to that part.
Hmm.
That and eventually she realized what she'd done and took her own life. Her little children may have gone to a paradise in heaven, but she was cursed with the sin that she caused, all because of her anger. And now, all she does now is search for her kids behind by the river and takes
Yeah, by
other
the same
children that.
river, she was rumored to look for them. And
Mhm.
many people say, according to the legend, she was desiring entry into heaven, but God forced her to return back to earth to look for the remains of her lost children. That's why
Which, of
many
course, she never
people in
found.
Mexico's yeah, and of course, many people say her spirit still wanders, crying out in grief for her lost children.
Hmm. I've seen like
Bec-
so many horror stories based on her, but some of those children managed to get away from her.
yeah, but only because La Llorona only searches for victims who resemble her children, like while they were still alive.
Mm.
That's why like she kidnaps any child that may resemble her own and drowns them to take her place as a lost wandering soul.
But from what I remember in the haunting hour, the R.L. Stein haunting hour of the Weeping Woman, aka La Llorona, there's like another woman there, like I believe is like a reference to the actual story where she hardly sees the husband because he's away on so many business trips, and the son and daughter are there left with her, and she's starting to feel a bit, alone, which I believe is the reason why La Llorona comes around when a kid out of town comes to visit for a few days, he
Yeah.
knows
So
about
basically,
he knows about the
this.
story through his abuela, aka his grandma.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I actually because some of my members of my family were also Mexican. Fun fact.
hmm, well, so are like my sitters. Well, they're like my second family, and as I have mentioned a few times, they're the one who taught me Spanish.
Yeah,
Now, I
and
never really
and
talked about
funny
the
thing
story
is
of La
like
Llorona.
yeah, and that's
I
why in my family, since I'm also Catholic, we also celebrate a Dia de los Muertos as well, which is the Mexican word
Day of the
or of
Dead.
the English one, the Day of the Dead,
I just said that. Now,
which is
as
also known as All Souls Day.
Now, I never
Mhm.
really talked about La Llorona to them because, well, it just kept going over my head and I kept forgetting, but mostly because I felt uncomfortable talking about it to them because, well, I just want to respect those boundaries. And
Yeah,
what's even more interesting is that in the haunting hour, if you look at the La Llorona, you'll have no choice but to follow her. So the kid from out of town, he covers his eyes to make sure he doesn't look at her, and
or yeah, you should
he
not
tells her
see
to
or
take
hear
his
her.
hand. hmm he then tells her to take his hand, and he guides her away from the kids, and she eventually disappears. He manages to save them and get back to the house. What
Yeah, and
I will
another
say
thing
is,
is
it does have a happy ending where the wife's husband finally comes home, and
yeah, and
it's
the
literally
only
like a
thing
happy
about
ending there.
the only thing that Laya Rona will leave whenever she will disappear is a puddle of her own tears.
which is
Because
why
it
she's
is
called
shown there in
which
the
is
Curse
why
of
she's
La
called
Llorona.
the weeping woman. It's
Because
why
yeah,
she's called the weeping woman because
when she cries, you can hear you can hear her moans and groans as well.
well, from the haunting hour it only sent a they only did her singing.
Yeah,
Like
she can sing, but if once you get closer, you will hear her crying
hmm
because you will hear her cries of pain and sorrow that when you get nearer. And if she spots you, it's already too late. She will lock onto you and needs to feed.
I will say this in one of the videos I seen on YouTube based on La Llorona, a girl who was searching for her friend actually had an encounter with La Llorona, but she didn't make contact with her, not once. And La Llorona
Yeah,
tried to take her anyway, but thanks to a spirit of her relative, she was saved.
yeah. Her abuela managed to save her life.
hmm
Yeah,
But
so I
still,
will
it's
say that this movie, The Curse of La Llorona, it's okay. I would give it like a meh because some parts of
hi,
it is
ma'am.
not really accurate. And oh hey Cody,
Hi, ma'am.
welcome to the stream. So anyway, so yeah, I will just
We're
give
just
this
talking
like
about the Conjuring
B.
franchise,
Yeah, so I will say that this is a B plus only for me.
and
You
I
Cora?
don't know much about the series. I don't. I will say this: I've only seen the movie once, so I'm not. I can't remember much about it. So I rather not rate it yet until I see it again. Like just to see how good it is, in my opinion.
Yes, and okay, so next up, which is the third and final part of the trilogy of the most famous doll, which is which is the most horrifying of all the films I've ever seen,
The
which
very
is,
Annabelle
of
movie.
course, the final one, Annabelle Comes Home,
I think I've seen that. Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. I've
and terrifying as well. It's really terrifying.
no, I think it's where this other couple where they're expecting, as I'll put it, they're expecting a child of their own. Am I saying that right? Or, like,
Actually,
is that
it
the actual
focuses
movie
now
I'm
on the
thinking of?
Warrens. It focuses now on the Warrens.
What it with oh where they're protecting the doll, I think.
No, they're bringing it home to be analyzed.
I know, that's what I'm
But
saying.
yeah,
They
but then
bring it, and
Lorraine finds out it is actually a beacon for other demonic spirits.
now I was thinking of the first Annabelle movie where a nice couple finds the doll and thinks of it as like an accessory for the baby's room. I was thinking of
Yeah,
that, not
what you're looking at is the first film. But this one I'm talking about is the third, which is the last installment. And fun fact, this is the very this is before after this was in tribute to Lorraine Warren after she died, because
um,
the real Lorraine Warren who gave credit to the Conjuring Universe on social media, she actually after when once this was released, she died.
oof.
Yeah, because
No,
her Ed Warren died in 2006, and then Lorraine died in 2018, or between 2018 and 2019.
I kind of remember a few bits of this movie, but again, it's still a bit fuzzy in my head. So I've only seen
Yeah,
it a couple
so
of times, but I need to see it
yeah.
like multiple times, like more than two, and
Yeah,
this
and
I can
basically,
remember.
this one, Annabelle Comes Home, is one of the most terrifying Annabelle movies I've ever watched on my own.
The only thing I remember from the movie is where one of the kids gets possessed and they cause like a horror scene.
Yeah, that's actually a scene that what you're looking at in Annabelle Comes
I
Home,
know, I know.
because
That's the only thing I
one of the
remember.
scenes there is Ed Warren exercising a man in there, and then the the spirit of that demon actually was exorcised from a girl, because it was thanks to that videotape.
But the question is, who was the man and who was the child? Which I'm
Like the
thinking, if
who
I
was the
had to
man and who
take a
was the
guess,
child?
I kind of have a bit of a theory that the same man could have been Frenchie, but then again, it couldn't be because that was
There are
back
actually
then.
three demonic spirits in there in the movie.
Yeah, Valak. What was the
No,
other
it is
one?
actually Malthus. It's actually Malthus, the Annabelle's doll, Annabelle's demon. Uh, the boatman, Charon, and then the bride.
Which is Valak.
No, it's a different demon. It's a different demon, but we don't know its name.
I thought Valak was one of them.
No, Valak is a totally different nun. It's a totally different demon.
You called it none.
Because fun fact, because Charon is actually a demon, but in real life, in Greek mythology, Charon is actually called the boatman. That's why. Do you
I
notice
guess that's why we
Charon has
call it
two
people.
coins?
I guess that's
Like,
kind of why we call some ladies who like to cause trouble Karens.
yeah, and also by the way, Cora, by the way, do you see that the corpses in the movie had also coins in the eyes?
I think I've seen it in like the Disney animated movie, The Christmas Carol, where
Yeah, and
Jacob Marley has some coins
the
on his
reason why
eyes.
they okay, so the main reason why they place two coins in the eyes,
Greed.
because in Greek mythology, they place two coin if a person dies in Greek mythology, they have to place two coins on the eyes for the boatman, Charon. It's
Oh,
as it's a fee.
I just thought it
It's
was
basically
because I
a
d-
an underworld fee, like to cross the river Styx to see Hades.
I don't know why, but I just thought the coins over people's eyes meant that they were a greedy person in life. Oh well.
Actually no, it's a sign of the reason why they place the coins on the eyes is because that's a fee. That's actually fee to cross the river in the underworld. Yeah, so Annabelle Comes Home, in my opinion, definitely one of the scariest. So this was this will fall under the A plus in my books.
Eh,
Yeah, so I think
that's all I
Cora's
gotta
gonna
say
give
for
it like a
horror
B
movies
plus.
now is
It's gonna give
eh.
it a B. Yeah, so I will give it a B. She will give it a B.
It's because horror movies don't really scare me that much.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one, this is the third installment of the Conjuring films, which centers around the most terrifying case of all, which is, of course, the Conjuring. The devil made me do it.
I haven't seen that one, but I'm just wondering
So
when Billy the puppet comes into the picture.
because actually, the devil made me do it centers around the trial of Arnie Cheyenne, the true story of the trial of Arne Cheyenne Johnson, which revolves the case around people to use the devil made me do it defense in a murder trial.
Eh?
Because in the case, actually, in this true story, this is based on the trial of Arnie Cheyenne Johnson. Because this was the first case in America to use the devil made me do it defense in a murder trial.
Hmm.
Because okay, so the story behind this is because in this case is that um Arnie Chan, because Ed and Lorraine met the devil and they testified to this, and then this was proven true when they were called into a murder trial because Arnie Chan Johnson claimed to have killed his landlord Alan Bono because of the devil.
I don't know why, but this is just reminding me of the beginning bit of this game called The Devil Within, where this hotel owner kills a couple and says in the court, "The devil made me do it,"
Yeah,
or something on
that's
the
taken
lines.
inspiration from the case from the devil made me do it defense in the murder trial.
Oh,
Yeah, because when you use demonic possession as as a defense, like that's known as the demon murder trial.
or maybe they're just using as an excuse. That's what I think nowadays.
Yeah, I mean people would the judge would sometimes like throw it out like that. And then so the story behind this one is actually based on the case as well, of course, but even though the Conjuring, like the devil made me do it, like the movie is a little inaccurate at times, but still did well to depict the actual storyline. So so the story is behind the story is like this. So um
There
according to
ain't
Arnie
no
Cheyenne
spoilers.
Johnson in the film, yeah, no, this is based on the case only, but it's not. I'm not gonna say the movie, but this is it's only the case in real life.
Okay.
So in the case in here, which is where the movie got inspired from, was that Arnie Chan Johnson in his trial said that the demons there were actually brought on by his brother David Glatzel, like his 11-year-old brother David Glatzel, and then before Arnie became possessed, David was seeing demons that looked like a little bit of those from Insidious, but according to the source was that like they Ed and Lorraine were called in this sort of thing by Arnie Johnson. So they called a priest as well to join in the exorcism. However, this made the demon even more angry. Oh, excuse you. So
Yeah.
this made the demon even more angry. So the demon the demon did did a final push, which was of course to make the exorcism last even longer. So the pair tried to rid the boy of the demon along with Catholic priests, and thanks to their help, according to the source, they got rid of 40 demons. Like oh, they got rid of 40 demons in David's body, and then but later on, according to the storyline, Arnie Cheyenne Johnson also talked to his brothers devils, saying this line. Uh, Go on, take me, leave my little body alone. So
Hmm.
basically, he challenged the demonic spirit, and he got his wish. That's when this all went down. So a few years later, after the demon went into Arnie's body, a few years later he killed his landlord in an argument. So and then like the Arnie's defense lawyer argued that he was possessed. And then Ed and Lor- when after they found out about this, Ed and Lorraine spoke at the trial of Arnie Cheyenne Johnson and attested to the fact that he was indeed, of course, possessed by the devil, which ensued a media blitz around the case. Then after they were called into the trial, they wrote a book about it. But however, Arnie Cheyenne Johnson served just 5 years in jail. Yeah, he only served 5 years.
That was a hiccup.
Yes, excuse you. Yeah, aren't of course yeah, Arnie Cheyenne Johnson served only 5 years, but I think he is already released now, like a few years back after his trial.
I don't know why, but that's just reminding me of a true scary story I've heard about. And it's on YouTube, by the way. It's about this boy who actually sees demons, and he can't look or speak to them
Ah,
because
The
if he
Sixth Sense. Yeah, I get the movie.
now it's not a movie, it's a video, an actual video story, and eventually he does look at one demon and he gets possessed. And when he gets sent to the hospital, that demon takes over, and the big brother is just demanding and demanding that the demon lets the little brother go until they eventually call in a priest. And things go back to normal. However, the boy still sees these demons and does his best to ignore them. But yeah,
Damn. Yeah, so the devil made me do it. Yeah. Yes, this is a good interpretation of the case actually, but it's the thing about adding an occultist there, like a female antagonist as the main villain, and like and all that, like by adding even more demons, like that's a little over the top, I would say.
bruh.
Mm. Like it's a little over the top in my opinion. But anyway, still, this is one of the best. This is one of the best interpretations of the case. So I will give this one. Like this will be an S. This is gonna be an A plus plus tier in mine. Yeah. So
Meanwhile, as
and
I
then
haven't seen it, I don't give it a rating yet.
yeah, because if anybody hasn't seen it, go watch it. Go watch it online. It's one of the best. It's one of the best ones if you're gonna watch it. And then this one after that one, this leads us to the latest one, like with the latest installment, which is of course the Nun 2 or also known as the Nun Chapter 2.
I haven't seen it yet. Me and
Yeah,
my
but
dad are gonna see it.
like I said, folks, like I would want to give my review to this one, but I will say it without spoiling it,
Hmm.
because I'm pretty sure everybody here who are in the chat and in the stream like hasn't seen the film yet.
Like me, for example.
Yeah. Sophie, have you seen the film?
No.
No, you haven't seen the film. You haven't seen the Nun film yet,
Mm-mm.
because this is the latest film already by the Conjuring Universe that was already released.
Mm.
I already
Hmm.
watched the film, and oh my god, I was so terrified of the film. And Cora
Bruh.
was indeed right. Cora was indeed right
About what?
that I can get scared pretty easily, because very scary
Seriously?
thing is, yeah, because you know in the Nun chapter 1, like when the cross burned, like when it went upside down and burned. That's actually a supernatural flame that was caused by the demon.
Hmm,
And you know what it's called? Like that supernatural flame that engulfed the fire, that engulfed the cross.
what?
That is hellfire.
Well,
Because demons
obviously.
can, yeah, because demons can actually control a mystical fire known as hellfire. And hellfire is a supernatural flame that burns the that is infused with magic that will tear away your very soul, but can also be used to burn your physical body.
Yeah, I wonder who else does that.
Ghost
I
Rider
w-
also does.
yeah, I know that was supposed to be a joke.
Ghost Rider actually has the ability to shoot hellfire too.
Yeah,
But
as
in
we
this
see in
case,
the first Ghost Rider movie.
but in this case, the demon can just do it with just a thought. Yeah, because due to this, like the demons can actually control the can create the mystical fire at by thought or at will, which will, yeah, so it will turn, yeah, and that's why it makes a demon like the most is a possible physical threat.
Okay.
So I will say that so this is my review of the Nun 2 with chapter 2, is that this of the two Nun films, this is
Two
one
nun
of
films.
the most,
Two nun films.
yeah, because there are two of them, the chapter 1 and chapter 2. So
But yeah,
this, yeah, these this one among those two, this is one of the most scariest version of that, than
I'll
rather
be
than
the
chapter
judge of
one.
that when I see it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, same.
this is my own rating of this film since I've seen it.
Hmm.
And yes, this one is the scariest in my view because of there is one there is one scene there that that made me shiver in fear. Like if anyone wants to see that a picture of that scene where it made me shake in fear, like that will it really gives me the most fear that came to my mind.
Don't show it, otherwise spoilers.
Yeah, I will not show the image, but I will just show up like what is shown in the, like what it's just shown as as a post in one of those scenes.
Don't. It's gonna
It's just
spoil it for me.
no. This is actually like from the trailer.
Still, I don't want to see it. I've seen the trailer multiple times, but I'd rather not be spoiled.
Yeah, but actually though, I will say the trailer and like the original trailer, the teaser, and the final trailer of this nun of the Nun 2 is very scary indeed. Because we were also we also had a small explanation by in the trailer that shows of course Balak's true his true origin of what he once was. Because
I'm I'm
yeah,
gonna assume right off the bat he was once at one point a human. I don't know.
no, you're getting close. He actually is still immortal.
Hmm. But I'm saying from the beginning.
Yeah, he was still immortal. He's still immortal even uh while he was still like that certain thing.
Hmm.
Because according to the source in the trailer, he was actually a beautiful angel in in that source. And then according to the priest there in the trailer, like of course it was rejected. Like Valak was rejected by God himself and was
It,
stripped away of his power.
that literally reminds me so much of the Ghost Rider movie with the three guys. Gressel, Avacor, Wallow. Yeah.
And Blackheart. Yeah,
No, he's the son of the devil.
yeah, and even Zarathos, the demon who was connected with Johnny Blaze. He actually was once an archangel, actually, or an angel of vengeance of justice in the earth. But according to the source, he was tricked by the devil and brought down to hell,
Hmm.
and he was corrupted and driven insane.
As stated in the second movie.
Yeah, so basically, of course, since Valak is we already know Valak is an angel. Yeah, so possibly after he was rejected, he probably was corrupted after when he fell down to hell and was driven insane. So of course, in by the trailer, it was said by Sister Irene that we saw that it or heard that maybe Valak wants up his powers back from the creator, but we don't know
Hmm.
where what but for those who hasn't seen the film, we don't know what is like what is the source of for that ultimate power,
Yeah.
because that's what Valak wanted after, as redemption for himself, ultimate power.
No wonder you tried to possess Sister Irene.
Yeah, and if you've seen the trailer, like when by
I only
that
remember it
magazine.
from the first movie when he slightly possessed her.
Yeah, he tried to get ultimate power, but that was just the beginning, because in when if you see chapter 2 now, you will see why he wanted to gain the true ultimate power.
Hmm.
And yes, chapter 2 is and if but without spoiling it, yes, chapter 2 among all the films, definitely the most scariest of all, because when I saw it for the first time in the on the big screen, oh my god! Like I could not stop screaming the hell out of my lung. Like I couldn't stop screaming from the top of my lungs from the jump scares. Yeah, and yes, Sophie, I literally screamed.
Let me guess, you imagined Mum was there to protect you.
Sorry.
I'm guessing you, after the movie, you pretended Mum was there to protect you.
Yeah, like I confessed to her about it, and she knew she recognized the fear in my voice. And she even saw how pale I was. She even noticed how pale I was on my face.
I'm just imagining a scene from Hello Boss, like the pilot, where Nelia rubs Moxie's head just to calm him down, and he's like whimpering. I'm imagining us.
What was he?
I'm
What
imagining
was it
that.
in part in Helluva Boss? Like, was that guy also pale, like in his face?
No, no, no. He was a bit angry. It was from a different matter where
Because
he goes,
actually in
"I
real
am
life,
calm."
because actually in real life, when you experience fear, it like you will actually you will turn pale out of it, and you will even shake. You will even shake or shiver in fear.
Eh, that
Yeah,
that's
because
never me in real life, honestly.
yeah, but
I'm
I mean
hard to
only me when I
scare.
see after I see horror films, like if there's the suspense and jump scares, I yeah, that's what happens to me.
It's never happened to me, not even once.
Yeah, but to be honest, like I literally in one of the jump scares there when I've seen the film, I literally screamed at the top of my lungs, and even the ladies there who were watching the film, they were also screaming. They also were letting out blood curdling screams.
Bruh.
Yeah, and
Well, that's
when I
definitely not
first
gonna be me.
like when I first looked at the trailer, and then I saw this also in the trailer, I thought that was actually a holy presence also as well. Like when I looked at this when I looked at this picture. because as you can see in this picture
Eh,
right here, like
that
it from the
definitely doesn't look
trailer.
like a holy presence to me.
Yeah,
Mm.
if you look at this, if you
That
look
doesn't
at
look like a
this,
holy presence to me.
yeah, because I would say that the producers of the film, including those who made the film, like who participated in the filmmaking, they really went to great detail of this character, including like Balak's actor Bonnie Aarons. She did a very good job on how on how she portrayed Valak in this appearance.
So it's official. Valak is female, not male. He's transgender.
No, actually, they actually picked Bonnie Aarons for a reason.
I'm saying that as like a joke. I'm saying it
Yeah,
as like a
yeah.
joke.
I'm also saying it from my view also on how
Mm.
on my perspective of the film. And I will say, oh my god, they even brought back the thing
Oh,
where Sister Irene, like how she was suspended like in when she was suspended on the ground,
all right.
like they made her do like a cross like with her body, like with her arms spread out and her legs in the same
I
spot.
know. I know.
Yeah,
It's like from the first
they're
movie.
even doing it. Yeah, in the nun too, in the chapter 2 of the nun, they're doing it again.
Hmm.
Yeah, but if you've seen if anyone if you see the film, you will see what I mean.
Again, only seen the first one.
Yeah, because we see as I mean, if many of you seen chapter 1, yeah, you will see what that means. But if you see chapter 2, if once you decide to watch the film, then you will see how like my theory of this one worked. Because my biggest theory about this is that like like
I can
you
hear
can
Adam scratching at the bathroom door. Adam, what are you
yeah.
doing?
Yeah, so Sophie, if you're looking at this picture in my avatar, this is actually Valak,
I
the
knew
demon
it. It's
nun.
not a holy presence at all. It's an unholy presence.
Because they can actually disguise themselves like a holy presence in reality demons can actually do that, like they can make themselves look holy like by doing something like that, but then once the light fades away and you will see the eyes of the demon, you will know that is actually not what they are.
So it's a bamboozle that they're trying to do. A bamboozle.
like they will basically try to trick you to believe that they're actually a holy presence. But if you
When
see
in
the
reality,
eyes
they're not.
but yeah but if only if you see the eyes, then you will see if you see the look of their of despair, anger, and everything in their eyes, then you will know that's actually indeed an evil presence, especially their demonic smile and the showing of their teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as you've seen in the Nun too, I mean in the Nun, chapter 1, yes,
Adam, what are you doing?
Balak's teeth and smile are very wide.
I just think he needs to see a dentist.
Yeah, I also felt the same way when I saw him for the first time.
See, this is what I mean. I'm always finding the funny and the scary.
Yeah, even I saw a makeup video of someone who dressed up as the nun and played that.
Well,
And
I'm
then
just hoping
actually
if they ever do like a
funny
third film on
uh
the movie,
the
they
nun.
need they yeah. If they ever do like a third movie, Valak definitely needs to see a dentist.
Yeah, true.
I just
Because
don't smack at the demon.
yeah, but I'm wondering how even the dentist would feel if they once they will know the presence of a demon in the room.
Not unless they have like a crucifix nearby.
Oh god.
Yeah, then they would burn away the demon. Because if you've seen many horror movies,
I'm
um
hearing a
yes
squeaky toy.
a demon can actually be repelled by a crucifix, and yes, the crucifix will still burn, but only across the face they will burn.
Just like how they vanquished the dead nun from the first movie.
Yeah, only if they are repelled back by holy objects, then like the blood of Christ, the holy water, or even a crucifix can, or even like prayers that are religious in beliefs, then yeah, you would get, like, that would be a thing.
Jeez, you've been like live for 2 hours and 11 minutes. Holy.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
and I'm actually watching a video right now of someone who was pranking, like who's pranking a lot of people by dressing up as the nun.
Well, all I can say is that demon nun definitely needs to see a dentist about those teeth.
Oh God.
Yeah, and then
This is how
and
I
actually,
repel
yes,
scary.
Sophie, in real life, Valak does scare me. Like in whenever I have nightmares, I always see Valak there.
Eh,
Yeah, and last time when I was watching, after I watched Insidious, The Red Door, I actually also saw someone in my garden, but when I rubbed my eyes to look again, nobody was there.
who
But I
knew
was
near the
yeah, but I
ghost
was sure.
appearance?
Yeah, but I was sure someone was sitting right there.
Ah, hang on. The pub's doing nuts.
Yeah, and yes,
Ah,
fun fact, I'm actually making a video of like the
and
possession
what are
of
you doing?
Nebula Prism.
What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Video.
I'm actually making a video of like the
He's all
possession
wet.
of I'm actually making the possession of Nebula Prism,
Bruh.
Mm.
because Nebula Prism actually has a demonic side, actually, that he, and his demon is not is actually the sin of wrath.
Meanwhile, mine is a lull trap. And
Yeah,
she's
lol trap.
more of the psychotic side, and she just craves the bloodshed.
Yeah, but
I do
mine,
manage to control her,
um,
but still.
yeah, but mine, yeah, when if my because my gender bend actually is like Valak, except Mira can actually Mira actually transform. She's actually a nun, actually in disguise, like whenever like she appears normal, but in reality she's actually a nun.
I guess that's none of my business to get involved with her.
Why?
No, but actually, she actually, that's just one of her disguises as a nun. Like she actually disguises as a nun, like whenever she heads to whenever she heads to a religious, I think.
I like how you didn't even say anything about my pun.
Yeah, good pun, 1 point.
I literally have to say a pun for almost
Uh,
everything.
okay. This
Yeah.
prank made me laugh a lot. Like, listen,
Is it the screaming?
Oh God.
Good grief. Good
like I
grief.
like yeah, like there was a guy who was screaming at the top of his lungs because someone was dressing up as a nun, and then suddenly the lights went off, and then when they went back on, like the nun was already there.
Or the nun was a bit closer.
Jalal, yeah, if you're familiar with Jalal's scary nun compilation, yes,
I
that's
have not
what
seen
I'm
it.
looking at. Yeah, and
Me.
like I actually did play a prank on somebody, like when I during Halloween, and yes, I was also holding a fake crucifix made of cardboard, and I actually did the upside down cross as well. Like I made the cross in my classroom, like turn upside down, like with like
Eh,
I made the kids afraid of me. Because
I'm pretty
fun fact,
sure.
but
I
fun
think I
fact,
almost did something
I never
similar to
dressed up as
that.
the nun. Yeah, fun fact, I never
I
dressed as the nun, but I only
well, I
pretended to
think
be a nun.
I will say this: last Halloween, I was dressed up as Fanny. Well, you can actually see me wear the mask sometimes. I was just
The
sitting on a
nun.
table, just casually, like chilling there as if I'm not alive, and then just casually look up and run towards them.
Yeah,
That
like
definitely gave a lot of people some
Oh God.
frights.
who's scared? Wait, question: who is scared of Valak actually? If he was real,
Not me. If
I
I
mean,
ever saw
if I
Valak,
were to meet like if I were to meet
if
the
I ever,
actress of the nun, I would love to see her costume in action
eh,
because I would be scared by her demonic roar.
I think that's an edited roar.
Yeah, that's an edited. Yeah, because I saw it. I saw it behind the scenes of the nun. They're like they actually edited it because it was made to sound like a dinosaur roar, but they edited it to make it look more demonic. And yes, actually, another thing that demons can do, they can hide inside the host. Like if the host will pretend not like the host will know like nothing had ever happened in there, but then um later on they will put they will come out like that one, and then they will possess the person again.
Bruh.
I even like even one time I yeah, I did the same thing also like when I was the mummy.
Oh my gosh, I love the movie.
Yeah, the classic mummy always gives me that. The remake,
But
I like the remake, but it's not as it doesn't stay really that close to the classic one.
also, how long do you plan on being live for? Because might have to go soon, and I want to
Well,
stick around for the outro.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
might stream like for about 3 or 5 minutes like that one.
Ah, well, I guess I might as well peace out here.
Yippee. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Sophie, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to see you again. Like, sorry, I didn't end the stream earlier back then. It's because if you didn't notice, I fell asleep.
Yeah, I noticed. I noticed.
Yeah, wait, was Cora and everybody laughing, like laughing at me, like when while I was sleeping.
We were, but we were also trying to wake you up. So,
Oh, it's because the reason why I was not able to like wake up at that moment was because I was in a deep sleep. So that's why.
Mhm.
Because as you if you don't know, Sophie, yes, I'm a heavy sleeper.
ah, that's why we can wake you up.
Yeah, because like I even though I have an alarm clock with me, um, I'm sometimes like a heavy sleeper.
Mhm.
Hmm. Uh, Especially even now, even if I feel sleepy, which I don't.
Oh God.
Yeah, wait, Sophie, do you have a Discord account, right?
I used to, not anymore.
Oh, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what happened to your account? Like, did it like crash or something?
No, I had to delete it for a
Oh,
personal reason. So,
oh. I mean, you can make a new one.
yeah.
Wait, do you want to see how I sound like when I'm doing Adrian?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do my PFP with him, and Yeah, so this is how he looks like actually. You see it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he can do it like this. Like, okay, so I'm gonna show some when he's in the shadow form, like when
Okay.
he's like like a black shadow. So
Okay.
he will say this like, "Who are you?" Like that. That's what he sounds like. And then he would also say this like, if he knows anybody, like, "Ah, so it is you.
Oh
Hello
well.
there, my old acquaintance. It's been eons since we last met." Like that's how he sounds like when he speaks to somebody.
Ah.
But when he becomes angry, like or like he loses his temper, he will sound like this. Like he will say words like this. Like I'm gonna say a line from one of his quotes that says like this. Yes, I am that same animatronic who hated everything that this place represents. Every man, woman, and child who did fail in seeing what I really was.
Hmm.
I hated those who took my pride, and for those that I cared and loved so much. Like that's what he sounds like. He sounds like an angry spirit.
Ah.
But when he grows
Eh,
angrier, he would say like this one, like, "I hate everyone. I even hate myself for what I became." Yeah, like that. That's how he sounds like when he's angry, when he's very angry.
oh
Because of course, Adrian is a demon. Like he's a demon. He's an animatronic, but ever since his death, he became a demon. Yeah. So basically, basically Nebula and him have issues because of his demon. Yeah. So
yeah. Yeah.
Adrian and my OCs have Adrian and my OCs have issues. Yeah, like they have issues.
Oh God.
Like, have you ever experienced that one, Sophie? Like, you had issues with some your sibling like that?
Mm,
Yeah,
no.
Nebula has issue. Yeah, Nebula and Adrian have issues because of their past.
Ah.
Yeah, that's why Adrian always wanted to kill Nebula because when Nebula grew up to be a fine young animatronic, just like what his brother was, he grew jealous of like while he was still a demon, like he grew jealous of his younger brother, that he already resembles him.
Yeah.
And the fact that they already called him they called Nebula Prism number 1 because Adrian used to be number 1 in the because of being a prototype. But then when he was brought to the side and retired, it was short lived.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why you know, um, Adrian's backstory is very sad and tragic in its own right because of he was mistreated and abused, but it gave way to mental illness and um it cost him dearly.
Yeah. That's
Because
horrible.
yeah, like he commit because his death was a murder and a suicide, like on his like on the accident, the day of his accident. And like there is some also a scene where he will say this like this is what he will sound like when he was talking to me. So I will say this like, "Oh, so you do remember me, but you
Mm,
didn't know. You failed to realize that I was the one who led the way for you. You and your brothers and sisters. I was the first of our kind to be the best of who I was. But no, it wasn't. You soon came into being and took that place I once was. Yeah, like that's what he sounds like when he spoke to me. Like after when
Mhm.
he encountered me for the first time, he basically like he basically was angry and jealous actually of how I was.
Uh-huh.
But I explained to him that I was too young to even know who he was. But then because he and I never spoke nor we were friends. But later he explained his entire story to me. That's how he knew how like of my of his how that's how we knew of his origins and his entire story. Oh geez, we've been streaming for an hour long. Jeez, that's
Yeah.
long. So yeah. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this rating stream while I'm also making OCs. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching this live stream and credit to Cora, Lila, and Sophie for joining the stream. And once again, please welcome Sophie to my videos. So yeah, Sophie, welcome.
Thank you.
Yep. So yeah, be sure to yeah, make sure you subscribe to their channels. Like they're once you see them in their like here in my videos. And yeah, once again, this is Nebula Prism and Funtime Chica here on my channel. And yeah, so if you guys have any suggestions, please write it down in the comments below. Then we will be able to do those for you guys. All right. So anyway, this is Nebula Prism and Funtime Chica signing off. But and of course, I have also another thing to say is that of course to subscribe, uh, make sure to turn on your notifications, and of course, you know, like the video so that you won't miss a video from me ever again. So without further ado, yep, let's this is the end of the live stream. So yep, God bless all of you. You rock, and make sure to stay wolftastic and always stay hydrated. And also be sure to have a good day or night. So yeah, peace out, everybody. Let's get it.
Bye.
Woo!